The night the HOA called the cops on me for parking in my own driveway, I was sipping coffee on the porch, watching the moonlight glint off my old Ford pickup, same truck my father used to drive to work at the sheriff's department 30 years ago. That truck wasn't just metal and wheels to me, it was a piece of family history. But to the HOA, it was an eyesore that didn't fit neighborhood standards. It started a few weeks after I moved into the subdivision. I'd spent 20 years working in the county sheriff's office. And when my wife and I finally bought this quiet place outside town, I figured it would be peaceful, birds, coffee, and some space to breathe. Turns out, I'd underestimated how much trouble a group of people with clipboards could cause. The first notice came, tucked under my wiper, unauthorized vehicle parked in driveway. Must be moved immediately, I chuckled, thinking it was a mix-up. But the next day, there was another, and then a knock at my door from the HOA president herself. A sharp-tongued woman named Carol, who introduced herself like she ran the county. She said, "That old truck doesn't meet our neighborhood's aesthetic code. You'll need to move it to a garage or storage." I looked her dead in the eye and said, "Ma'am, that's my father's truck. It's not going anywhere." Her face stiffened. "Then we'll have to take action." I didn't think much of it until 2 nights later, flashing blue and red lights filled my front yard. My wife peeked through the curtains. "Honey," she whispered, "there are police outside." Stepped out calmly, badge on my belt, coffee still in hand. One of the deputies I'd trained years ago stepped forward, looking awkward. Sheriff, we got a call from the HOA about an illegally parked vehicle." I nodded slowly. "In my own driveway?" "Yes, sir." Carol stood behind them, arms crossed, smirking until I pulled my badge into full view. Her face turned pale. The deputy cleared his throat. "Ma'am, this is the county sheriff. You can't report him for parking on his own property." I didn't have to say a word. Justice had already spoken. Carol mumbled something about miscommunication and shuffled off into the dark. The next morning, the HOA board quietly removed the parking clause from their rulebook. I parked that old truck right where it belonged and washed it under the morning sun. Sometimes, standing up for what's right isn't about shouting or fighting. It's about quietly reminding folks that respect still matters. Have you ever dealt with an HOA that went too far? Share your story in the comments. I read every one. If you believe home should mean freedom, not control, hit subscribe, and let's stand together.